Welcome to Newsmakers. In this program, we talk about the MOSO CAPS program at Missouri Southern State University. That is the Missouri Southern Center for Advanced Professional Studies. MSSU is the first university to be part of the CAPS program, which is offered in many high schools. By definition, its mission is to be a collaborative partner with area businesses and industries to provide unique experiential learning opportunities for area high school students. We will be visiting with the program coordinators to explain how it all works and learn about an upcoming event called Interviews and Expectations. We'll also hear from an industry partner, the Joplin Police Department, and meet students working on site. Plus, we'll be joined by a number of students experiencing the MOSO CAPS program and the different strands of study: health sciences, human services, and business marketing and entrepreneurship. Joining us first to explain the program are the Suzanne Hall, Director of MOSO CAPS, and Kelly Lay with the Neosho News CAPS program. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So let's first talk about this whole thing of what we've got going here. Tell us how students get involved and how they can, get involved in this program.
So we have an application process. We do, right at the spring, we'll start promoting the program across the population of our juniors and seniors in our high school. We are only servicing Neosho High School currently, so we will be promoting it within our junior and senior class and talking about the experiences that the students will get to have over the program's life. We're a year-long program. And then we open up the application and start accepting students in for applications, and then we'll screen them and determine who gets offered a position in the program for the following fall.
And applications are open now, correct, for next year?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yep.
Yes.
Suzanne, give us the idea of the mission and how this whole thing started and why it's so important to have this program.
So CAPS program started in like 2009 or 10 in the Blue Valley School District in Overland Park, Kansas. And so the CAPS mission is really to partner local industries with high school students so they can experience a career. It's all about experiential learning and profession-based learning. And so giving the students the opportunity to have those experiences prior to either getting a four-year degree, associate's degree, and for some areas they don't need either, just simply a certificate or just the job experience.
So we have a lot of students who are actually taking college classes in high school now. Does that create even more urgency for a program like this, for the kids to have that kind of advice, that insight?
Well, I think it's twofold. With our program, we specifically try to align the coursework that they're taking with their level of interest. So we're not as interested in them getting specific dual credit for college. It's more about these are the topics that you're going to go learn more about if you're in college. And if you choose not to pursue this career or drop straight into industry, there's still a wealth of knowledge to have. So we specifically choose what coursework is going to go with each strand, not trying to align them into a college career pathway necessarily so that a degree can happen, but more so an entire experience can happen in that career field that they're looking at.
Let's talk about what the strands are and what that means when it comes to, say, courses of experience or courses of study.
So our programs are different as well. So for our program, we have partner districts. Whereas Kelly with New CAPS, they have Neosho High School. We have 3 different partner districts currently. We actually have 4, but we have 3 that have students in our program right now, and that is Webb City High School, Carl Junction High School, and College Heights High School. And so those students, they have the opportunity to either have experiences in business marketing and entrepreneurship, which also includes engineering and computer information science. We have
a big field.
We have human services strand that includes psychology, teaching, political science, criminal justice, and social work. And then finally, we have our healthcare strand, our health sciences strand, which is anything in the healthcare field. So if there is something in the healthcare field, our students are going to have those experiences. And in one of our industry partner settings, we also have veterinarian science students in that program as well.
Yep, we do too.
And there are a lot of opportunities in our area for all of those.
Yes, and they've had amazing experiences in the fall.
Excellent. So how do you feel this benefits the community as a whole? I mean, we're going to talk with an industry partner, but Kelly, you even come from the business sector.
I do.
How do you think this is good for businesses and for the community?
Well, I think for the businesses, it's very good because we hear a lot of conversation from them is regarding what people are not bringing to the table when they are trying to employ them. And this is their opportunity to influence that piece much earlier upstream of a student and help them transition out of being a student and into the world of industry. So they get a lot of influence in trying to help students be good people and good workers in the community. So that's one way. The other way is that we try to stay true to, we will only lift up strands and business partners that exist within our area. And we do that specifically so that our students here can learn that you can leave and go elsewhere for a career, but I think it opens their eyes to how much opportunity is right here. And even when I relocated here a few years ago, I was amazed at what is here. And growing up in a small town, I am one of those students that felt like I had to run away, like I had to leave where I grew up because there was no opportunity, and that's not the case here. There is not a field that we're touching on that somebody couldn't transition out of our program and go straight into working in that field.
In fact, we already have some of our students who have secured employment with some of our industry partners.
Which is exciting.
It's very exciting because the way I always phrase it is that we're really trying to allow the students to see what great careers are in their own backyards. You know, they don't need to leave, like Kelly was mentioning, to go to a bigger city or whatever. I mean, we have great careers right here. And so it's really building that industry pipeline for all of our industry partners and to help secure their future workforce.
And when we say industry, it's not necessarily industrial. We're talking all the different kinds of businesses that exist here. Right. So you've teamed up for an event called Interviews and Expectations. Tell us about that, who all can go to it, and who's all involved.
So all of our students will participate in going through what we call kind of speed interviewing. It's really more, the goal of this very first interaction with our business partners is just to get them comfortable speaking about themselves outside in more of a professional atmosphere, about what they professionally can bring to the plate for a business partner. Not just about that they are a high school student, they're involved in sports, but some of their character that comes from being involved in those things. And also by now they've experienced half of a year in this program, so their professional skills should be a little bit lifted up and they should be able to speak confidently about themselves and what they bring to the table. So this is, I don't want to downplay it, but they leave here feeling more comfortable talking about themselves and leave with a level of confidence that if the next stage is to drop them into an actual interview with a business partner in their location, they would feel comfortable with that, and they would be able to hold their own in a conversation with a business partner.
And it's open to all of our students in the CAPS programs, and we also have, we still need 12 more people to help interview in the morning session, and we need 6 to help interview in the afternoon session.
So this is happening January 18th?
January 18th. The first session is from 8:30 to 10:30, and the second session is from 12:30 to 2:30. And if you're here all day, we will feed you lunch as an industry partner. Just a way to say thank you for what they're doing and giving up their time.
Well, thank you both for explaining the program. We're going to talk more about it coming up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
here.
much.
Absolutely. The MOSO CAPS and New CAPS programs wouldn't be possible without industry partners, as mentioned, who also have something to gain through the effort to help students define their career paths. Coming up, we'll talk with a representative of the Joplin Police Department on why it's involved. In fact, we followed a MOSO CAPS student doing an internship there, along with another student being mentored at Mercy Hospital. Here's their story. A ride in a police cruiser is giving Webb City High School senior Kaylee Joins the ultimate insight into a career in law enforcement.
Making homicidal threats to kill her mother.
She's part of the MOSO CAPS program. The Missouri Southern Center for Advanced Professional Studies provides unique experiential learning to help students define their career paths.
Actually, when I started at the police department, I thought I wanted to be a crime scene investigator, and then changed it 2 days later to just like a detective or whatever. So
Kaylee got tips on investigation techniques.
Then we want to make sure we get the interview done, right? We want to talk to bad guy.
Joplin 911, where is your emergency?
and she spent time with dispatchers.
Okay, is this a reference a crash?
Kaylee is grateful for the opportunity to get a real-life perspective.
I got to listen in on a couple phone calls and go on patrol. They deal with people in a way that the TV shows and don't like tell you that, because you actually get to experience it. Like, you can sit in a classroom and learn all about the justice system all day, but until you're actually in here, I mean, you don't actually know. It's just assumptions.
Its prospective officers are glad to share.
Well, I hope to show them that we're not all bad like the normal media portrays. I like to show them that we're still humans. Just because we wear a badge doesn't mean we're any different from anybody else. You know, and we try to treat everybody like humans. There's not a whole lot that we can do that other people can't do.
Besides the police department, Kaylee spent time at drug treatment courts and at Carthage Cross Lines, learning their connections to the world of criminal justice.
Because, I mean, you might run into those people if you get a call or something. The way my parents have explained it to me is like, you have the people that were the drug addicts, and these are the people being affected by it. Like, these could be the families, these could be them themselves. And it really changed my mind. Like, oh, these are the people that could be affected, and then that could be something that you get a call for one day.
While it's police work for Kaylee, Julian Edwards is visiting a variety of businesses, including Mercy Hospital, to learn their approaches to business and marketing by seeing the operations firsthand.
And it was kind of a big hit to me because I hadn't ever been working before or working with others in like a realistic environment. So it was nice to see people work and what they did for work and how much time and effort they put into their work and such, and see a realistic expectation of what that looked like.
It's been eye-opening for a teen who hasn't had her own first job and doesn't have a clear career path.
Before I was shadowing at Mercy, I shadowed at AMI Radio and KOAM TV, and it was interesting seeing their process on how they did things there, and then even with Mercy with how they do their marketing department and how they do advertising compared to like Freeman and how they do their advertising. So it was nice to see the difference between that and just how marketing is in general, because it is very broad.
Besides their rotations and on-site education, the students also spend time in college classrooms while balancing their high school class load. They say it can be challenging, but it's worth it.
So when I go to college, I'm gonna have that experience already. So then when I'm going to like get my actual job, I'll have that above everyone else because I have actually already been there. So I know like not exactly what I'm doing, but I've seen things.
You have to study hard because we had like 3 exams. You definitely want to be able to put forth effort, but I feel like it is worth it after the fact, after you do it. Because then you have, if you do go to college, you have that extra boost to give you. Even if you're in a situation like me and you haven't worked yet, it gets you kind of more into that environment rather than you just plunging right into it when you do get a job.
I think this program is good for anybody who participates. You know, I don't know how many of us when we were 17 and 18, juniors and seniors in high school, really truly knew what we wanted to do. So to have the opportunity to get even a little taste of it and experience a little bit of the real world, maybe it's not going to completely inform your career choice, but I think that it's wise and might help you to say, well, I'm not sure about this or that aspect, or conversely, maybe you really get a fire lit under and you decide, wow, this is really cool. I do think I want to participate in this and pursue this. And then I think the organizations that wind up hiring those folks are going to be better off because they're going to have somebody who's in a space that they definitely know they want to be in.
As we just saw, the Joplin Police Department is one service industry that is a partner to the MOSO CAPS program. Joining us from JPD to talk about the department's involvement and the benefits to industry is Captain Nick Jimenez. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us today.
So why did the police department feel it was important to be part of the MOSO CAPS program?
Well, we've always enjoyed the partnership we've had with Missouri Southern. It's always been a great relationship, and whenever we were approached for this, the idea of being able to expose community members, especially young community members, to the importance of our agency to the community and building that relationship, we thought was a win-win for us.
Now, you're always recruiting too.
Absolutely.
Are you hopeful that this is a good recruiting tool?
Yes. One of my main goals, personal goals, is to keep local talent here in Joplin. We have a fantastic department with lots of opportunities. Speaking from personal experience, as a Missouri Southern alumni member who started at the police department as an intern. So about 16 years ago that was,
Wow.
and been there since then.
Awesome. Well, we met a student who spent time with JPD, said it did impact her career field choice. She changed her mind after getting to, ride along, talk to the different officers, see what they did. How does that make you feel knowing that that student gained insight by being there?
The best part about hearing that is I think everybody has an idea of what law enforcement is, but once you get in within an organization like the Joplin Police Department, you realize all the different parts of that organization to make us accomplish the goal of serving the community. It is eye-opening to know there's that many parts, that many opportunities, and that many job functions within one organization.
What do you hope the students see and learn when they get to have this experiential learning there?
As you guys spoke earlier, one thing I like to hear was within this MOSO CAPS program, the humanities especially, we work as law enforcement with all different groups, all different community organizations, and I like the idea that people are getting to experience the police department isn't just about enforcement, it's about prevention, it's about education, it's about community improvement. Those are huge goals that we have within the Joplin Police Department. So them experiencing that firsthand makes me glad, and it encourages me that much more to be a part of this program.
Yeah, Kaylee, who visited with you, mentioned that she went to Carthage Cross Lines and saw how that kind of connected the people element to what you guys do, or the people you might run into while being in law enforcement, and saw that there was a connection to other community groups.
Absolutely. One huge thing we encourage within our organization are people are the job. That is exactly what you sign on to do as a police officer, is help people.
Right. Do you think having interns is good for your staff when they have to kind of communicate what they do?
Absolutely. Within police work, you can at times be focused on one objective or one goal, whether it's solving this case or responding to a call. That mentorship, I think, is good for regardless of the industry. Encouraging people to want to be a part of what you've dedicated your life to doing, I think that's absolutely beneficial to our officers.
Does it kind of self-reflective give them a reason to talk about, oh, this is why I do what I do?
Absolutely. I can, again, to speak from personal experience, looking back and being exposed to all those things for the first time and having this idea in my head of what law enforcement is, and then experiencing that firsthand, just cultivated that desire to want to do it that much more.
Kaylee even said, it's not like what you see on TV.
That's exactly right.
So do you think this is good for the community as a whole, having students who may have a better idea of what they want to do? I mean, does that help create better citizens in the end that helps the police department?
Yeah, I think a clear expectation of what the job of being a police officer entails is beneficial. Some of the interns specifically, they may not want to be police officers, but having that exposure to what the job of a police officer is whenever they go into that separate field, whenever someone maybe has an expectation of what the police department does or is supposed to do, with this firsthand experience, they're going to have that knowledge base to say, I get where you're coming from, but that's not exactly how that works, which only helps that partnership, that clear expectation.
Yeah, they have a relationship of what the police really do and
Absolutely.
what their life is
Yes.
like on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Captain Menace, for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Telling us about the MOSO CAPS program. When we come back, we visit with students from each strand service in the MOSO CAPS program. We'll be right back. Welcome back. MOSO CAPS is a program designed to give students practical, career-oriented experiences. We find out how it's working as we talk with the students themselves. We are joined by Stella Helm, working in the Human Services strand, Marley Woodford in the Health Sciences strand, and Maddox Studdard working in the Business strand. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so I'm just gonna want to go down the line and hear from all of you about your experiences as with our industry partners, which is great. So Stella, where are you attending high school, and tell us where you've been interning.
So I'm a senior at Carl Junction High School, and I've been interning at Employee Health at Mercy, City of Joplin, and the Health Department, and then Case Management at Mercy, and then Behavioral Health at Mercy as well.
So what strand are you representing? The Human Services,
Yeah,
right?
Human Service, yes.
So what were those experiences like? What was it when you met with people, and what do you feel like you took away from that experience?
It was a great experience. It was very interesting to see how different cultures work in the different fields, and how every internship was a new experience, and how I learned so many different things and what to expect when I actually get into my professional job.
Excellent. All right, so let's go next to Marley. What's your high school?
I go to College Heights Christian School. I'm a senior.
And you're in the Health Sciences strand. So what does that mean? What areas have you kind of gotten a chance to see?
Well, I've done my internship in convenient care, family medicine, ICU, behavioral health, and physical therapy.
So what was that like for you, and did it change what you thought you wanted to do, or did it reaffirm what you wanted to do?
Well, I had a lot of very different experiences in each one, but it just kept pushing me towards medical school, which I've always wanted to do, and it's just kind of affirmed my love for medicine, and I've always just been really interested in it, and I'm glad I finally got to get some more experience in those fields.
Was there anything that stood out as, oh, this was a really neat experience?
Well, I was able to do direct patient care as a high school student. I got a job at Mercy through this program because of my professional relationships that I've formed. And
That's
it's
excellent.
Just been great, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the goal, is to make connections. So it really paid off.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Maddox, you're next. Tell us where you go to school and where you've been interning.
I'm a senior at Carl Junction High School, and places I've interned at are Steve Schreiber Body, Pennington Station, KOAM, and Frank Fletcher Toyota.
So what's your goal?
My goal in life is to own my own car lot and be able to make a good reputation of my name in the Joplin area.
So what do you feel like being at these businesses has shown you?
Being at these businesses really showed me how living in a small town, people get to know you, and people always come back if you treat them right. And so if you have great customer service and are able to communicate with a person, you are able to see that person again and even bring in more customers.
Awesome. So what's the experience of going on site? Why is that better than the classroom, and what do you feel like you learn by going there? I mean, you have to juggle several days a week there, right? Tell me what the schedule's been like for you.
So the schedule's been actually really flexible, and we go there 3 days a week, and we get to experience so many hands-on actions, and just being able to observe people, what they are doing at that moment and what they do in this certain time, or just everything that you would kind of expect in a field, but actually get to experience it.
What the actor work day is like for an individual. Does that make a difference when you see that?
Definitely. Yeah, it's great to see the actual things that people go through every day in their job, and not just, oh, this is what people generally do. It's knowing that it can be all over the place and everything can happen.
So you might spend an entire day with a nurse.
Right, yeah.
And what was that like? I mean, it wasn't just following them around. You really got to see cases?
I was able to help with the patients. I was able to turn them. If a nurse needed help, needed an assistant, but wasn't able to find one, I would go over and I'd just help turn a patient. I gave injections, and I just got to help out in general, and I got to learn about the field.
And did anything discourage you, or did you go, wow, this is going to be tough, but?
No, I knew it was going to be tough, but I really enjoyed everything that I got to do. I just think medicine is very cool. Yeah. So being able to experience it in real life, taking what I've learned in classes and actually doing it in real life, has been really important.
Now you balance this with some classes on the college campus, correct? Or tell me about that.
Well, in health sciences, we took an intro to health class, and so that was just everything wrapped into one. It was just a starter class for health professionals. And I saw a lot of that in the hospital, so I was able to answer questions that nurses asked me, and I was able to know what they were asking and like what they were doing to the patient. So.
You know, there's a lot of mentor programs that do exist. Do you think they on the industry side take this more seriously and challenge you more than maybe just, oh, I'm following you, shadowing you for a day?
I know a lot of the nurses that I was with, they weren't sure if I was allowed to participate, but knowing that I was, they were super excited to show me, and they wish that they could have had that experience in their high school years.
Right. So, and Maddox, so I'll ask this of all of you, you know, is it better to do this in high school than college? I mean, why do you think it's important to get that chance to be on site and in that working world? Let's start with you, Maddox.
I think it's amazing to start off with it in high school because you get the opportunity other high school students don't have to offer. And getting this now and then in college, you have this view better than what anyone else does, and you think that you solidify what you want to do in your future.
Do you think you'll end up taking the right classes in college?
Definitely. Yeah, I think it helps a lot to be able to do this in high school because a lot of people switch their degrees halfway through college.
You're nodding like
Yes.
So did it reaffirm for you what you want to do?
Of course, yes. It just doubled down on that. This is what I truly wanted to go into.
What do you think is the biggest benefit overall?
Probably just having that firsthand experience, learning different professional ways to communicate through people, and preparing ourselves for college. I think that's one of the biggest benefits.
What do you think?
It's helped a lot as a hands-on learner, just being there, getting the skills in real time, and just learning a lot of social skills, interpersonal skills, forming relationships. That's been very beneficial.
It seems to require some time management. Has that been something that's been an education for you? Because, you know, in high school you're usually there all day. Here you're going different places, you're going to a job site, you're going to college campuses, going to high school. Is that a lesson in itself?
Absolutely.
Are there other skills you had to learn, like besides the time management? I mean, or was that something you learned over time? Was it hard to adjust?
I wouldn't say it was hard to adjust, although it was kind of hard to make sure you are on time and being professional, being early, showing that you are dedicated and you're passionate. I think that was one of the skills that we had to learn and prove on.
Yeah. Mattis, what do you think?
I think it really depends because sometimes you had a meeting, so you had to be there early, you had to be having into the attitude and the positive mindset. Or sometimes you just had your normal day on the site, on the job, in the area, and so you still had to look professional, but you always want to be on time.
Well, you're all doing a wonderful job, and congratulations to you for being part of the program and your success already in getting a job.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for being here. That wraps up this edition of Newsmakers. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Lisa Oligas.